Most people think they know what Greece looks like: whitewashed villages, blue-domed churches, sun-soaked islands. But beyond the tourist trails are places you've probably never seen and maybe never even heard of. Monasteries suspended in the sky, ancient temples where gods once whispered, and coastlines so wild they feel like the edge of the world. This is the other Greece, the one hidden behind myth and mountain, where ancient stones still hold their secrets and the land remembers every empire that tried to claim it. From volcanic islands to sacred peaks, from forgotten ruins to timeless traditions, we're about to explore 20 of Greece's most extraordinary places. If you're ready to discover the Greece most travelers never find, hit that subscribe button and join Life in Geo as we journey through a land where history isn't just remembered, it's still alive. Before we begin, here are some facts that might surprise you. Greece has over 6,000 islands, but only 227 are inhabited. It's home to more archaeological museums than any other country. The Greek language has been spoken for over 3,400 years, making it one of the oldest living languages. Greece has no navigable rivers, yet it has the longest coastline in the Mediterranean, stretching over 13,600 kilometers. Democracy, philosophy, the Olympics, theater, and geometry all began here. And despite its ancient past, Greece didn't gain independence until 1821, after 400 years of Ottoman rule. This is a country where the old and new collide constantly, where ruins sit beside modern cafes, where mythology walks hand in hand with everyday life, and where every stone has a story that refuses to fade. Monasteries shouldn't float, yet here they do. Perched atop towering rock pillars, they rise from the plains like something imagined. This is Meteora. The name means suspended in air. The rocks were shaped 60 million years ago when this area was covered by sea. In the 14th century, monks fleeing persecution climbed these cliffs seeking isolation. They built monasteries at the summits, hauling materials up with ropes and baskets. For centuries, the only way up was by climbing precarious ladders or being pulled up in nets. Today, steps carved into rock lead to 6 active monasteries. Monks and nuns still live here, praying in silence above the world. The views stretch endlessly: green valleys, distant mountains, and always, the feeling that you've stepped into another realm. A place where Earth reaches for heaven and somehow, impossibly, touches it. Most Greek islands are famous. Milos isn't. And that's exactly its power. Volcanic forces shaped this island into something surreal. Over 70 beaches, each one different. The most famous is Zakynthos, white volcanic rock sculpted by wind and waves into smooth curves and sharp cliffs. No vegetation, no color, just blinding white stone against impossibly blue water. It looks carved by hand, but nature did this alone. Milos is where the Venus de Milo was discovered in 1820, now housed in the Louvre. The island's fishing villages cling to hillsides. Their colorful boat houses built right into the rock. Fishermen still moor their boats inside. Beneath the surface, sea caves and underwater hot springs bubble from the ocean floor. This is an island that doesn't perform. It simply exists, quiet and raw and unforgettable. The ancients believed this was the center of the world. Not metaphorically, literally. This is where mortals came to hear the gods. The oracle of Delphi, a priestess of Apollo, would enter a trance and deliver cryptic prophecies that shaped the fate of kings and empires. For over 1,000 years, Delphi was the most important religious site in the ancient Greek world. The sanctuary sits on Mount Parnassus slopes, overlooking olive groves. The Temple of Apollo still stands in ruins. The ancient theater, once holding 5,000 spectators, remains remarkably intact. And higher up, the stadium where the Pythian Games were held, second only to the Olympics. Walking through Delphi, you feel the weight of what happened here. Decisions made, fortunes turned, history carved into stone, and silence that still echoes with questions asked millennia ago. It's the greenest island in Greece. Cypress trees, olive groves, wildflowers blooming along every path. This is Corfu, an island that feels more Venetian than Greek. Corfu was ruled by Venice for over 400 years. The influence is everywhere. Narrow, cobbled streets, elegant arcades, pastel-colored mansions with shuttered windows. The Old Town is UNESCO listed, a maze of alleyways where laundry hangs overhead and locals chat from balconies. 2 massive fortresses guard the town, built by Byzantines and expanded by Venetians. Beyond the town, Corfu unfolds into hidden beaches and clifftop monasteries. Paleokastritsa, with its turquoise bays, is said to be where Odysseus washed ashore. And in the north, Cape Drastis reveals rock formations so otherworldly they seem sculpted by gods. Corfu refuses to choose one identity. It's Greek, it's Venetian, it's its own world entirely. It's the largest island in the Cyclades, yet somehow overlooked. While tourists flood Santorini and Mykonos, Naxos quietly goes about its life. Golden beaches stretch along the coast. Rugged mountains rise inland. Villages cling to hillsides unchanged for centuries. The symbol of Naxos is Portara, a massive marble doorway standing alone on a small islet. It's all that remains of an unfinished temple to Apollo, begun in the 6th century BC. At sunset, it frames the sun perfectly. In Greek mythology, this is where Theseus abandoned Ariadne after she helped him escape the Minotaur. The god Dionysus found her here and made her his wife. Naxos became sacred to him. And the island's vineyards still produce some of Greece's finest wine. Inland, Byzantine churches hide in valleys. Ancient marble quarries scar the mountains. Naxos doesn't chase attention. It simply offers itself, quietly and completely. It's the most famous ruin in the world. Yet standing before it, you realize it's more than stones. The Acropolis rises above Athens, a sacred hill crowned by temples built 2,500 years ago. At its center stands the Parthenon, dedicated to Athena. Built between 447 and 432 BC, it's considered the pinnacle of classical Greek architecture. Every column, every proportion was calculated with mathematical precision. It wasn't just a temple, it was a statement. Athens at the height of its power. The Acropolis has endured invasions, explosions, earthquakes, and looting. The Ottomans used it as a mosque. Venetian bombs destroyed much of it in 1687. Lord Elgin removed entire friezes, now in the British Museum. Yet it remains. Even incomplete, even scarred by time, it commands respect. Because what was built here wasn't just for Athens, it was for the ages. And standing beneath those marble columns, you feel that ambition still. Shipwreck Beach. You've seen the photos. A rusting ship on white sand surrounded by towering cliffs and water so blue it doesn't look real. This is Nafplio Beach on Zakynthos. The ship, a smuggler's vessel, ran aground in 1980 during a storm. It was left to rust, becoming an accidental icon. The beach is only accessible by boat, enclosed by sheer limestone cliffs over 200 meters high. But Zakynthos is more than one beach. The island is home to endangered loggerhead sea turtles that nest on its southern shores. Protected areas ensure their survival. Inland, traditional villages and monasteries perch on hills, and the blue caves, sea arches where sunlight reflects off water, illuminate caverns in brilliant shades of blue. Zakynthos was devastated by earthquakes in 1953. But it rebuilt, preserving what it could and adapting where it had to. Today, it remains one of Greece's most striking islands. It's an island of two worlds, one ancient, one medieval. Rhodes sits at the crossroads of the Aegean, close enough to Turkey that you can see the mainland on clear days. The Old Town is one of the best-preserved medieval cities in Europe. Walls up to 12 meters thick surround it, built by the Knights of St. John in the 14th century. The Palace of the Grand Master looms at the highest point, a massive Gothic structure rebuilt by the Italians. But Rhodes's history goes back much further. In ancient times, the Colossus of Rhodes stood here. One of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, a 33-meter-tall bronze statue of the sun god Helios. It stood for only 56 years before an earthquake toppled it in 226 BC. Even in ruins, it remained a wonder for centuries. Today, Rhodes blends its past with the present. Medieval walls, ancient ruins, modern resorts, all coexisting on an island that has always been a meeting point of cultures. It's one of the most beautiful towns in Greece. Chania sits on the northwest coast of Crete, its Venetian harbor lined with pastel-colored buildings reflected in still water. The Old Town is a labyrinth. Narrow streets twist unexpectedly. Archways open to hidden courtyards. Venetians, Ottomans, Egyptians, all left their mark. The lighthouse at the harbor entrance was built by Venetians in the 16th century, later rebuilt by Egyptians. It's one of the oldest lighthouses in the world still standing. The Mosque of Kutsuk Hasan, with its distinctive dome, now serves as an art gallery. Beyond the harbor, the covered market offers sensory overload. Spices, olives, cheeses, fresh fish on ice. It's been the heart of Chania's daily life since 1913. Outside the town, gorges cut through mountains, beaches stretch along the coast, and small villages cling to hillsides unchanged for generations. Chania is a place where history layers upon itself, creating something beautiful and impossible to untangle. This is where European civilization began, or so the legend goes. Knossos was the center of the Minoan civilization, the first advanced society in Europe, flourishing over 4,000 years ago. The palace sprawls across a hilltop on Crete. Labyrinthine corridors, frescoes of dolphins and bulls, sophisticated drainage systems. It was more than a palace. It was a city within walls. According to myth, King Minos built a labyrinth beneath to imprison the Minotaur. Theseus entered, killed the beast, and escaped using Ariadne's thread. The complexity of Knossos makes it easy to believe. British archaeologist Arthur Evans excavated it in 1900, controversially reconstructing parts using concrete. Purists criticize the restoration, but it helps visitors understand the scale. Walking through Knossos, you feel the weight of time. A civilization that rose, flourished, and vanished mysteriously around 1450 BC. Possibly destroyed by earthquake, volcanic eruption, or invasion. No one knows, only the stones remain, silent witnesses to a world lost. It's known for two things, marble and beauty. Paros has been quarried for over 4,000 years. The island's white marble, called Parian marble, is translucent, allowing light to penetrate up to 3.5 centimeters deep. The Venus de Milo was carved from it. So was the Winged Victory of Samothrace. Michelangelo preferred it above all others, but Paros is more than stone. Naousa, a fishing village turned cosmopolitan port, buzzes with energy. Whitewashed buildings, waterfront tavernas, fishing boats bobbing in the harbor. Yet just inland, traditional villages remain untouched. Lefkis, built on a hilltop to avoid pirates, is a maze of marble-paved streets and Byzantine churches. Paros is also home to Panagia Ekatontapiliani, the Church of 100 Doors, one of the oldest Byzantine churches in Greece. Legend says it has 99 visible doors, and the 100th will be revealed when Constantinople returns to Greek hands. The island balances tourism and tradition better than most. It welcomes visitors, but never loses itself. It's the postcard, the dream. Whitewashed buildings clinging to cliffs, blue-domed churches, sunsets that stop the world. This is Santorini. But beneath the beauty lies violence. Santorini isn't a typical island. It's the rim of a collapsed volcano. Around 1600 BC, one of the most powerful eruptions in history destroyed the island's center. The explosion may have contributed to the fall of the Minoan civilization. What remains is a crescent surrounding a submerged caldera over 300 meters deep. The towns of Fira and Oya perch on the edge, built into the cliffs. Every building faces west, capturing famous sunsets. The volcanic soil produces unique wines. Acertico thrives in ash-rich earth. Vineyards grow in coils close to the ground, protecting grapes from fierce winds. Santorini's beaches are unlike any other. Red beach with rust-colored cliffs. Black sand beaches from volcanic rock. Santorini is beautiful, but it's also a reminder that the earth is alive, that beauty and destruction are often the same force. It's the throne of the gods, the highest mountain in Greece, rising 2,918 meters into the clouds. This is Mount Olympus, home of Zeus, Hera, Athena, and the Olympian pantheon. For ancient Greeks, this wasn't just mythology, it was geography. They believed the gods lived at the summit, hidden by clouds, watching over mortals. The mountain has over 50 peaks, the highest called Mytikas. Reaching it requires a challenging climb. The trail passes through dense forests, alpine meadows, and barren, rocky slopes. Mist often rolls in without warning. It's easy to see why the ancients believed gods lived here. In 1913, Greek and Swiss climbers became the first modern people to reach the summit. They found no temples, just rock, wind, and an endless view. Today, Mount Olympus is a national park, but for many, the climb is still spiritual? Not because they believe in Zeus, but because standing at the peak, surrounded by clouds and silence, feels like touching something beyond the mortal world. It's the most romantic town in Greece, at least that's what locals say, and standing in its Venetian harbor at sunset, it's hard to argue. Nafplio was Greece's first capital after independence in 1821, before Athens. The town is layered with history: Venetian fortresses, Ottoman mosques, neoclassical mansions, all compressed into narrow streets winding upward. Palamidi Fortress looms above, 216 meters high. To reach it, you must climb 999 steps. Legend says there were originally 1,000, but one was removed after complaints. The fortress was built by Venetians in 3 years, completed in 1714. A year later, the Ottomans captured it. Then the Greeks reclaimed it during the War of Independence. From the top, the view is staggering. The town below. The Argolic Gulf stretching to the horizon, and offshore, the tiny island of Bortzi. Crowned by a castle that once protected the harbor, Nafplio's charm lies in its refusal to shout. It simply exists, beautiful and understated. This is where it all began. Not life, not civilization, but the Olympics. Ancient Olympia was the site of the original Olympic Games, held every 4 years from 776 BC to 393 AD. For over a millennium, athletes from across the Greek world gathered here to compete in honor of Zeus. The Games weren't just sport. They were sacred. Wars paused during the Games. City-states set aside rivalries. The ruins sprawl across a green valley. The Temple of Zeus once housed one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, a massive gold and ivory statue of Zeus. It's long gone, but the temple's fallen columns still convey its scale. The ancient stadium remains remarkably intact. You can stand at the starting line where runners once waited, walk the 192-meter track. Imagine the roar of 45,000 spectators. Every 4 years, the Olympic flame is still lit here using sunlight and a parabolic mirror, then carried to wherever the modern games are held. Olympia reminds us that sport, at its best, can unite. It's the island where Mamma Mia was filmed, the chapel on a rocky outcrop, the lush green hills, the turquoise water, all real, all Skopelos. But long before Hollywood arrived, this island had a quieter reputation. It's one of the greenest islands in Greece, covered in pine forests, olive groves, and fruit orchards. The island has over 360 churches and chapels, tucked into hillsides or hidden along trails. Some say there's one for every day of the year. The most famous is Agios Ioannis Kastri, the tiny white chapel from Mamma Mia. Reaching it requires climbing 110 steps carved into rock. Skopelos town cascades down a hillside to the sea. Whitewashed houses with red-tiled roofs, narrow alleys, bougainvillea spilling over walls, it feels timeless. The island's beaches are quieter than its neighbors. Pebbled shores, clear water, pine trees reaching down to the sand. Skopelos isn't trying to be famous. It just happens to be beautiful, and sometimes that's more than enough. It's the party island, the glamorous escape, where yachts anchor offshore and celebrities hide behind sunglasses. This is Mykonos, and it wears its reputation proudly. But peel back the clubs and boutiques, and you'll find something older. Mykonos town is a maze of whitewashed alleys designed to confuse pirates. Streets twist without logic. Dead ends appear suddenly. It's easy to get lost, and that's the point. The island's symbol is its windmills. 16 once stood above the town, grinding grain brought by ship. Only a few remain, their white towers and wooden blades silhouetted against the sky. Little Venice, colorful houses built on the water's edge, offers one of the island's most photographed views. Waves crash against foundations, balconies hang over the sea. At sunset, it glows. Beyond the parties, Mykonos has quieter corners. Anomera, a traditional village inland, feels worlds apart. Mykonos is what it is. Loud, glamorous, unapologetic. But beneath the surface, the island remembers what it was. It's the largest of the Ionian Islands, and arguably the most dramatic. Steep mountains, hidden beaches, caves that glow with impossible light. This is Kefalonia. Rhodes Beach is its crown jewel, a sweeping crescent of white pebbles backed by sheer cliffs. The water shifts from turquoise to deep blue, so vivid it looks painted. It's been called one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. But Kefalonia's beauty goes deeper. Literally, Melisani Cave is an underground lake illuminated by a collapsed roof. Sunlight pours through, turning the water electric blue. Boats glide across the surface, their reflections perfect mirrors. In ancient times, it was believed to be the cave of the nymphs from Homer's Odyssey. The island's villages cling to hillsides. Naxos, with its pastel buildings and Venetian fortress, feels frozen in time. Kefalonia was devastated by an earthquake in 1953, but it rebuilt, preserving what it could. Today, the island balances tourism with authenticity. It welcomes visitors, but never loses its soul. It's one of the most perfectly preserved ancient theaters in the world, and it still works. Built in the 4th century BC, the theater of Epidaurus could hold 14,000 spectators. Its acoustics are legendary. Stand at the center and whisper. Your voice carries to the top row, 60 meters away. No amplification, just geometry and stone. Scholars still study how the ancient Greeks achieved this. Some believe the limestone seats filter out low-frequency noise. Others point to symmetric design. Whatever the reason, it works. Every summer, the theater hosts performances. Ancient Greek tragedies, comedies, modern plays, sitting in seats worn smooth by 2,300 years of audiences. Watching a play under the stars, you feel the continuity, the same stories, the same space, just different people. But Epidaurus wasn't just a theater. It was a sanctuary dedicated to Asclepius, the god of healing. People traveled here seeking cures. Epidaurus reminds us that healing and art were once intertwined, that stories have the power to heal. It's not just an island, it's a world. The largest Greek island, stretching 260 kilometers from east to west. Mountains rise over 2,400 meters. Gorges cut deep into earth. Beaches range from pink sand to black pebbles. And history saturates every stone. Crete was the cradle of the Minoan civilization, Europe's first advanced society. After the Minoans came Mycenaeans, Romans, Byzantines, Venetians, Ottomans. Each left their mark. Today, Crete feels distinctly its own. Cretans consider themselves Cretan first, fiercely proud of their island's identity. The Samaria Gorge, one of Europe's longest, stretches 16 kilometers through towering cliffs. Milos Lagoon is a shallow pool of turquoise water surrounded by white sand and pink-tinged shores. Spinalonga Island, once a Venetian fortress, later became a leper colony. Now it's a haunting reminder of isolation and resilience. Crete doesn't fit one description. It's too big, too complex, too alive. To know it, you must return. Again and again. And even then, you'll only scratch the surface. From monasteries suspended in the sky to theaters where whispers carry across centuries. From volcanic islands that exploded and reformed to mountains where gods once walked. Greece isn't just a country, it's a palimpsest, layer upon layer of civilization, myth, and memory written onto stone, sea, and soil. The ancient Greeks gave the world democracy, philosophy, and the Olympics, but they also gave us something else. The understanding that beauty and tragedy are inseparable, that greatness is fragile, that everything becomes ruins. And yet those ruins endure, still teaching, still inspiring, still whispering to anyone willing to listen. If this journey inspired you, subscribe to Life in Geo for more explorations beyond the guidebook. Comment below and tell us which Greek wonder you'd visit first. And remember, the greatest discoveries aren't found on the busiest paths. They're waiting in the places you almost didn't go. Discover the world, explore the extraordinary. See you in the next adventure.